Formula 1 arrived in Spain now for the final ever round in Europe of Formula 1 and of the 2020 season. The main news, of course, was about the championship, with 4 drivers leading the way, although most notably Ricciardo said he was ruling himself out of the championship because he could not rely on Renault's reliability, something which they'll be working on for Formula E. And he's not the only problem. Fernando Alonso, at his home Grand Prix, will be looking to win, despite the fact his scoring record has been iffy ever since the 4th round of the championship and Williams with the new Pirelli tyres. But Fernando, of course, needs to deliver the masterclass when he wants to, if he wants to catch up to Hamilton in the championship. The final driver who has staked his claim is Sebastian Vettel, who aiming to become a 5-time world champion and claim the last world championship ever in Formula 1. Whether the German can do it in Red Bull and get 5 for the Austrian drinks outfit will yet to be seen, but he does need to make up ground to catch up to Hamilton at the top. Taking a look at the grid today, and Sebastian Vettel took pole, comfortable 10th ahead of Peter Hamilton, although Hamilton won't be too, knowing that Vettel is some 15 points behind. Ocon starts 3rd, and Giovinazzi starts 4th, a good result for both of them who are looking to improve their careers when Formula 1 moves to Formula E. Carlos Sainz, a good result from him as he starts 5th, Max Verstappen drags the Ferrari up to 6th. On the 4th row sees Lewis Hamilton once again in the top 10, although he's probably unlikely to stay there. Nico Hülkenberg, some way off his teammate, he starts in 8th. Charles Leclerc starts down in 9th place for Williams, and Daniel Ricciardo is in 10th place for Renault, disappointed to be soloed down in what should be a competitive car. Outside the top 10 sees Pierre Gasly in his 2nd race for Mercedes. Fernando Alonso, disappointed. Outside the top 10, he starts in 12th. Alex Albon, good result from him. He starts 13th in a woeful Aston Martin Brabham car. Mick Schumacher is alongside him from his second point in Formula 1. Nick de Vries starts 15th and alongside his more experienced teammate Sergio Perez. De Vries, of course, will be hoping to score more points soon. Lorandi starts 17th ahead of Stoffel Van Dorn, who is disappointed to be 18th position, and at the back are the 2 McLarens who have both McLarens developing electrical deployment issues. Now it's time for the race of today's Spanish Grand Prix. Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of Final Fantasy F1. Today we're doing episode number 12 for the Spanish Grand Prix. Of course, Barcelona, where they've just been having testing. But if you missed the last episode of Monaco, I recommend you go and check that out. We had lots of safety cars and drama there. So yes, the description to the playlist I think is in the description below. If not, it can be found on the channel as well. So yes, to Barcelona, a track that really hasn't seen a lot of action on the game in recent years.
Let's be patient going into turn 1. We want to be in a good position for the rest of the race. Good luck.
Thank you, Jeff, and that is summed up by the race strategy. 2-stop race, soft, medium. That's pretty much the bog standard race here. 5 red lights, come on. Finally, away we go. And there's a tyre smoke there from Vettel, who gets a better start than us. I mean, Ocon has gone past us, and he's going to have a look at Vettel. I mean, he hasn't yet the Grand Prix yet, or even got a podium for Renault, but Ocon's going to cut us off. We can't make a move there. We're going to have a look around the outside of the Frenchman, but doesn't do. You can see there that Carlos Sainz there, and there's a lot of weaving going on behind from Verstappen. Is he trying to wall off Giovinazzi and the Mercedes Lewis Hamilton? I think that's the Williams of Leclerc, as we've gone ball with Nico Hülkenberg now, who's trying to get past Daniel Ricciardo. And look at this, Fernando Alonso and his Williams making use of that Audi power to try and go around of Nico Hülkenberg. Yes, moving to lap 3 now. It took us to lap 3, but eventually we are closing right up to Esteban Ocon. The game using all that small lockup from Ocon though put me off, and that means that he retains the place, and we have to wait until the end of lap 3 now to have a go. But we're closing into the backward sector. Sainz isn't that far behind, so we do need to get a move on, otherwise he will be coming on the radio, although he is supposed to be backing us up for the World Championship. But this time we're a lot closer. We have DRS this time as well. This is going to help us, and we're just going to easily glance past the Frenchman and up into P2. Jeff suggesting a new strategy there, going 2 laps longer on the medium, so we'll see what happens there. Yes, this is on moving to lap 6 now. We're on board with Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon, who's doing a good job, and Lorandi up there as well, along with and then Norris out the back. But lap 6, Vettel comes into the pits, and we take over the lead, and because of that, Ocon went in as well. Here is Daniel Ricciardo, his teammate. Well, there is Ocon actually. He's coming to the pits, and he's behind his teammate, who's started at the end of the top 10. So Ocon has lost out somewhere through the pit stop phase, but he is now behind Sainz in the running, and even behind his teammate. So he's lost a lot of time. Not sure if he had a spin or if they double stacked him for some reason. But yes, as we come in for our pit stop, the first of 2 this afternoon. 2.9 second stop. That's not bad for the crew, considering the fact it's Grand Prix mode. A couple of cars are going to go through, including what looks like a Jaguar and Alfa Romeo car. A Mercedes is going through, but crucially we're going to be ahead of the 2 McLarens, who looks like Sainz is going past just now, and there's his train, and then the Renaults are at the back of this train. And a simple move there for Sainz. Who's unfortunately the 2 McLarens. They need to get Porsche need to get that electrical deployment issues. We're looking on the back, I believe, of Pierre Gasly, who I believe may be out in front of the race. I mean, it did start in last position, sorry, outside the top 10. We're looking now at Lorandi. This is a replay of ourselves, excuse me, going past Hamilton and Lorandi. Now, I didn't realize at this time, but I got an illegal overtake for that overtake I did on Hamilton. I'll show you a replay. I've got a replay from the end of the race. So at the end of the race, I'll show you a little bit of a replay that it's a really, shouldn't have been a penalty, but there we go. Yes, moving to lap 14 now. We are coming up with one of the Jaguars. I believe it's Sergio Perez has retired from the race with engine failure. So Jaguar are not having a great season. I mean, yes, they've scored 2 points, but that's been the exception rather than the norm. You can see here behind now we have one of the Renaults. Can't quite see who it is, but they're going past. I believe that's Hulkenberg. I think that was Ricciardo. As the lead Renaults were coming in at the end of lap 21, and this is when our penalty is going to get applied. So, and this is the thing. Vettel, of course, we're out in P1, but Vettel has absolutely controlled this race. Back in the old, it's like one of those races back in the old days, in 2013, 2012. As you see, the team pauses for 5 seconds, works on the car now. One of the Mercedes coming, I think that's Hamilton, coming in for his second stop. And interestingly, there goes Carlos Sainz past, and also going to go past. Look, is Ricciardo and Hulkenberg going to come around? They're going to go 3 wide, and we block Ricciardo, who somehow is on the hard tyre. So that's why Ricciardo hasn't really got into this race. As we make contact with the Australian, a little bit of revenge there for Hungary. Yes, there we go. He tried to go into the position where we were coming out the pits, and he makes contact with us again before yielding the position. We eventually catch up to Nico Hulkenberg. I think Ricciardo had damage from that, so Ocon is going to catch up to him. Set a new fastest third sector. These mediums are going to do an absolute treat for us, and we're going to go down the inside, take all the road we need, and up into P3. be honest, not too discertain. Vettel is some million miles away anyway, as Max Verstappen now, well, his engine's given up. He had a crash with us last race in Monaco, spoiler there if you haven't seen the previous video, and now he's out the race now, so 2 races in a row. It's not going to be a good end for Ferrari in F1, despite the fact they've been there for so long. So yes, but we unfortunately couldn't catch Sainz. He had great pace, and this is a new man in the last couple of races. 2 podiums in 2 races. Good push in the Constructors' Championship, which is still wide open. They come across the line and to finish in P3. But here's what I mean about the legal overtakes. This is on board with us. You can see here Hamilton and Lorandi ahead. Now I go around the outside of Hamilton, and at this point I'm off the circuit, but I'm not going to actually go past Hamilton until I'm rejoin the circuit. So it's a bit iffy, 50-50 there. Sainz, great job from him. Vettel though dominated the race. Hulkenberg, a good P4 for him from 8th on the grid. Ocon, another disappointing race for the Frenchman, as he could only finish down in P5. Pierre Gasly, the Mercedes. Wow, well, Hamilton got that freak win in Britain when the tyres were working for him, and now Gasly got some in his teammates outside the top 10. So Gasly's showing that he has got some speed for Mercedes, and of course Verstappen and Perez were the only 2 cars that weren't finished, so none of the calamities that we did see the last race. Apologies that it's been a little bit of a duller race, but that's to be expected with Spain. I mean, it is a boring track. So to the Drivers' Championship, because Alonso didn't score any points, we extend our World Championship to 11 points now, which is more than a race win. Vettel is the main person, going to be our main challenger, I think, not Alonso, as he is only closing in, but he is still 15 points behind. Ricciardo, surely now, I know there's 4 races left, but surely now it's over for him, Hulkenberg and co. And Carlos Sainz moves up into the top 10 for the first time this season. Constructors haven't really changed that much. Red Bull are closing in on Williams, so with Williams' poor form outside the points recently, Red Bull are expected to overtake and win the Constructors this year. We'll try and push them all the way to the end, and really Renault, of course, will try and keep up with us. So yes, that's going to be it for today's episode of Final Fantasy F1. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new to see more episodes of Final Fantasy F1. The 2 most recent episodes I recorded at China and Japan, if I remember rightly, are quite good. I've still got 1 episode left to record in Australia. The next race is in Bahrain, which I forgot what happened. It was that long ago, so apologies about that. But hopefully you have enjoyed. Please do make sure you get subscribed to the channel. I really appreciate it. It's the big red button underneath the video, and of course massively continue supporting the channel, so I can do more series like this in the future. But until the next video, next time, take care. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy today, and goodbye.